Hello and welcome to section 3-3 where we'll do the solutions to numbers 17 through 26. Find the slope between each pair of points. Dealing the slope, we have the formula that we developed, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this could be flipped around and be y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2 and get the exact same thing. The important thing is that we will subtract the y's over subtracting the x's, and that's the most common problem there. So let's start number 17. We take the slope is going to be y minus the y value over x minus the x value. And you could have done -2 minus 3 over 5 minus 7. And you would have ended up with -5 over -2, which the two negatives would have canceled and end up with the exact same value, 5/2. The next one, number 18. Slope is going to be y minus y over x minus x. And we get 5 over -9, -5/9. The next one is number 19. Let's subtract it this way. -1, you see, -1 minus the -8. And remember, you're subtracting these two numbers. So if you're subtracting a negative, yeah, it'll eventually turn out to a positive, but you're always subtracting whatever is written there. -1 minus a -8 over 5 minus a -3. And this gives us -1 plus 8 is 7. 5 minus a -3, that is 5 plus 3, which is 8. Okay, number 20. The slope is going to be 3 minus 3 over 7 minus a -2. That is 0 over 9, which is 0. That is the slope of 0, and notice that it came where the y values were the same. So this is going to be a horizontal line up on where y is 3. Okay, number 21. 2 minus a -3 over -5 minus 4. That is +5 over a negative, what? Over a -9. Really? -5/9 happens twice? That was kind of weird. Yeah, notice if we would have subtracted this point and this point, -3 minus 2 would have been a -5, and 4 minus a -5 would have been a +9. Interesting that both those answers came up there. All right, now for the final one. Slope is going to be 5 minus 1 over -6 minus a -6. So that is 4 over 0. -6 plus 6 is 0. If you try that in your calculator, you get an error. So this is where we have undefined. That is an undefined number there. We can't divide by 0. Now look at number 20. We can have 0 on top, but you can't have 0 on the bottom. And notice that this happens when x is always the same number, -6 in this case. So x equals -6 would be a vertical line. So when you're calculating the slope, this is a slope of 0. That's undefined. We don't have a number to describe what vertical line steepness is. Cool. All right, moving on to number 23. M equals 4. We're supposed to write down the parallel slope and the perpendiculars. Parallel to this is the exact same thing, and perpendicular to this is the opposite reciprocal, -1 over 4. Number 24, parallel slope is the exact same thing. M equals -3/8. Parallel means it has the same direction, the same steepness. So the slope is going to be the exact same number. And perpendicular is the slope is the negative, so that we'll change that to a positive reciprocal, 8 over 3. All right, number 25. It says explain the difference between a slope of 0, that's like number 20, and an undefined slope. That's like number 22. Well, a slope of 0 is a horizontal. And it always comes from a line that says y equals some number, like in this case, y equaled 3. And so some people will spell that horizontal to remind them that horizontal line, slope of 0, y equals a number. All three of those go together. And undefined slope, that is vertical. A vertical line that's so steep that we don't have a number to describe how steep it is because it's straight up and down. And so, and it always comes from, like number 22, x equals some number, in this case like -6 or 5. And so some people will, instead of thinking as a vertical line, they think of as a verticax line to connect these two together. All three of these always go together. They are biconditional, they are linked. Undefined slopes are always vertical. Vertical are always x equals a certain number, x equals a certain number, always have undefined slope. All three of those linked together. Good. Number 26, the last one here. It says find 2 points on each line and then use those points to find the slope. So here we have y equals 7/3 x minus 8. It said find 2 points. I'm going to stick in 0 for x because that's a nice easy one. 7/3 times 0 is 0, minus 8 is a -8. The next one I'm going to stick in is, I think I'll stick in the number 3. If I stick the number 3 right there, then that will cancel and I'll get a nice not fraction. So I'm going to stick in 3 for x. And you could pick any number you wanted to, 5, 8, -1, 1, whatever. I just chose it because it would cancel the fraction nicely. When you time 7/3 times 3 is 7, minus 8 is a -1. Good. Now let's find the slope. And that is -1 minus a minus 8 over 3 minus 0, y minus y over x minus x. -1 plus 8 is 7. Over 3 minus 0 is 3. The slope of this line, based on the 2 points we picked, is 7/3. And some of you be like, whoa, really? And yes, indeed, that's where we're going with the next lesson. That's why this is such a great prep problem. Let's do it again with another one. Stick in, I don't know, 0. There we go. Stick in 0 right there. 3/5 times 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. Excellent. Now let's stick in something like 1. Let's not stick in 1. Let's stick in something hard. 7. Yeah. Stick 7 in there. You could have picked a 5. Would have been a nice, sweet number to get rid of, but we're going to do this one just because we can. 3/5 times 7 plus 4 is 21/5 plus 20/5 is 41/5, like 8.2, 41/5. Now we're told to find the slope between these 2 points. And we picked it and we got fractions and it's ugly, but math is true. Slope is 41/5 minus 4, y minus y, over x minus x, 7 minus 0. 41/5 minus 20/5 is 21/5 divided by 7. Let's simplify that. You could use your calculator. Here's what it looks like by hand. 21/5 divided by 7 is the same as timesing the reciprocal. 21 over 35 reduces down to, or you could reduce ahead of time. Some people call that cross-canceling, and we get 3/5. And all that work. And oh my goodness, funny. You might ask yourself the question, will that always happen? And the answer will be given to you in the next instruction. Good luck.